Let's start with Cal, and then we'll get to that. Gary, you've had kind of a front row seat to what we've seen this season. So it's one thing for fans and critics alike to sit and watch it happen and go, oh, my God, this is absolutely unreal. But you get the really unique perspective of getting a chance to talk to Cal, whether it's Pete Woodworth, the pitchers around him. What's the kind of insight you've managed to gather about his season from those conversations?
It's hard to believe, I think, for everybody as we see it play out. It's this weird world in where it's the point where you expect him to hit a home run every single time because it's kind of what he's doing. At the same time, every time he does, it's like, oh, come on. He just did it again. This is unbelievable. I actually think I was talking to Carlos Vargas about this, Mariners reliever, and I think he had the best explanation. He said it's like a movie. And I think that is the perfect explanation of this season for Cal Raleigh. It has been like a movie. Everything from the home run chase to the contract, to the game in Williamsport, the whole thing has been like a Cal Raleigh movie. We're just all enjoying it as we go, and it just plays out every single day. So that's kind of the description, is everyone's just amazed because this is something that has literally never happened before. It's incredible.
Yeah, it is like a movie. And what if Cal had like a bigger personality? Like, what do you think that would do for his MVP race, as far as just, people really getting to know him and feel him a little bit more?
It's a good question. I feel like his personality plays great. I think it's actually part of the reason why he's connected so well to the Mariners fan base. I mean, he has that unique bond that is really hard, and it's really hard to nurture, and you don't necessarily see it with players all the time. But he does have a very unique bond to the fan base. And I know he's in probably the national scene. He's probably not as out front as other stars in the game, but I think with the nickname, the home run derby, everything else that's happened, and it really rammed it home, I thought, when we were in Williamsport. He has transcended. He is a superstar in the game. And you could see it by the moment he stepped off the bus in Williamsport. He was swarmed. Like every kid, Cal, dumper. I mean, they all wanted attention from Cal Raleigh. And there's a reason for it. And I think it was the home run derby, the home runs on itself. He has propelled himself into a different stratosphere. And he's propelled himself fully into the MVP debate. I have conversations around baseball as we travel around. This is not just a Northwest conversation now. This is a baseball conversation. The MVP, Judge, Cal, it's a national conversation now.
The conversation also focuses a lot on Cal's work as a catcher, because that is the differentiating point. Of course, you have what Judge means, as a leader. He does his own stuff, but it's really, really hard not to include as a primary argument, well, what about the work he has to do? That's the physical toll that it takes being behind the dish. But I wanted to ask you about just the extra work, whether it's hours planning or working with pitchers. What's that like behind the scenes? Is it like, hey, he works closely with Pete Woodworth and they, have their meetings with pitchers? Like, what is that work? How many hours go into it? What's it look like?
I mean, it's all day. It's constant. And it's partly why you don't see catchers do what Cal Raleigh is doing, because in a lot of ways, their offensive game is secondary to the most important part of their job. And the most important part of the job is dealing with your starters and relievers to have a good game, a good series, a good week, a good month, a good season on the mound. That's what's most important for a catcher. That's why when you look at the slash lines by positions, catcher is always the worst. It's the worst offensive position in a game, but there's a reason for it. In a lot of ways, it's secondary. And it is hours and hours and hours. He gets to the ballpark as early as anybody, and it's body work, it's meetings, scouting out the opponents, it's meetings with the pitching coaches, meetings with individual pitchers. It's constant conversation. It's all the time. It's all encompassing. That's what it is. And that's what makes this so amazing. And if you want to talk about Cal and the MVP, one game to me can make the case. A couple games ago when he got number 48, he got number 49 in the same game, right? He hit more home runs than any catcher has ever hit in the same game. At the same time, he had his 9th multi-home run game of the season, passing Griffey's record for the Mariners, passing Mickey Mantle for switch hitters. He's doing all this on the offensive side. At the same time, he's catching Logan Gilbert, who's striking out 13, a career high in the game, and he's catching a day game after a night game, which he caught the day before. You know, all this is happening in the same game. If you want to boil down Cal's MVP candidacy to one day, that's the day you do it, because he's doing things truly that we have never seen before. No catcher's ever hit 50. I don't know where he's going to get in terms of home runs. And all due respect to Aaron Judge, who's having a marvelous season. He's a Hall of Fame player. If your idea of MVP is just who is the best offensive player or who has the best slash line, okay, then Aaron Judge is probably your guy. If your idea as a voter is MVP is all-encompassing, offense, defense, everything else surrounding it, Cal's your guy.
You mentioned some of the things that the average catcher does, right? He shows up, all these meetings or whatnot. Have you noticed anything offensively that's different that Cal does to prepare for that? I mean, because you don't just get in the batter's box, take some hacks, and things happen for you. I would assume like he's doing some other things that might be innovative.
Well, the thing that really stands out to me and that has made all the difference this year, and you know, he has 20 home runs from the right side. And it's not just the home runs from the right side. Is his batting average from the right side is, you know, closing in on 300. Like, he has been an entirely different hitter from the right side. It was just a couple years ago that managers purposely, late in the game, would turn him around when they had a chance. They'd bring a lefty in, they'd turn him around from the right side because they feared him from the left side, not so much from the right side. And that's what managers would do all the time. And so what's really striking to me is how he has transformed himself offensively this year from the right side. He is a true threat from both sides. I mean, think about this. Of all the switch hitters we've seen in the history of this game, no switch hitter has ever hit 20 home runs from the right side in a season. Like, Cal's done that this year. He's hit 30 from the left side, 20 from the right side. I mean, he's not just making history as a catcher. He's making history in all kinds of different realms. No players hit more home runs at T-Mobile Park. I mean, you just go on and on and on, right? And that's the thing when you talk about Cal's offensive game. That's the thing that I find so amazing. And you look at the splits from year to year, and it is just eye-popping what's happened from the right side this year.
Let's talk about the team as a whole. I mentioned that there was a question, Bump, and I wanted to get to, and it was how far could they go? So let's say they get to the playoffs, if they're fortunate enough to do so. The conversation really stemmed from someone wondering, like, can they hang with the big guys? Or, like, is this really a team you can have faith in? Both Bump and I felt like, yeah, because who are the big guys in the American League? But, Gary, what do you think?
Yeah, you hit on the right question. Yeah. Like, who is the scariest team in the American League?
You could make a case for Seattle in the
I know
series.
that's the thing. That's the thing. There's like someone may say Detroit. It's like, okay. I mean, Detroit's good. The Yankees are good. Like all these teams are good. There's not a team in the American League to me that's like, oh no, you got to play out of your minds to win a 5-game series or 7-game series. I just don't think that exists in the American League. I think the American League is wide open, and I think you could make a case for a number of different teams to go to the World Series from the American League, and I definitely think one of those teams is the Seattle Mariners. I think you stack them up against the Tigers or the Astros or the Yankees or the Red Sox, all the teams that we're looking at, they're going to make the playoffs. I think the Mariners hold their own. And for me, the key for the Mariners right now, and it seems like all of our conversations always surround the offense, right? But for me, it's the rotation. Can the Mariners' rotation get closer to what it was last year? They don't have to equal it, but closer to what it was last year than we've seen for the most part this year. And it's been really encouraging, I think, lately. Like, Woo's been great all year, but Kirby, despite the one start in Williamsport, has really been good for a long stretch. And that was the best Logan Gilbert we've seen this season the last time out. So if you get a month of the rotation rolling, like, I think the offense is going to be fairly consistent and pretty good. Like, that's a scary team, I think, if you pull back and look at this from an outside perspective. I think the Mariners could be a really scary team in October.
Gary, we left you about a minute and a half.
You're lucky.
Why did we see that performance from Logan? What did you see? Was it mechanics? I mean, just break it down for me.
His breaking stuff was wicked. I thought that was the very best slider we've seen all season. He was much more efficient. The thing about Logan this year is we have seen the dominance. Like, his strikeout rate has been off the charts. I know he's not a qualified pitcher. He hasn't pitched as many innings to qualify for the ERA title, but his strikeout rate is better than Tarek Skubal, which is saying a lot because Tarek Skubal strikes out everybody. So we've seen the dominance. We just haven't seen the length. Like, most of his starts have been 5 innings. He's thrown a lot of pitches. It's at times been hard to get rid of guys. He was able to do it last time, been way more efficient. Got a ton of strikeouts, obviously, but the slider was the key for me. He had a great splitter. He had hitters. It was impossible between the fastball, the slider, and the splitter. So if he has those consistent secondaries, I mean, that's the Logan Gilbert I think we all expected to see this year.